Hi everyone, I'm Frank from the City of Games, and it is time to open the production sample of the City of Kings. The game has arrived, and I'm going to do this video walking through the collector's edition of the game. So a few things first. One, this is the collector's edition, which means it's going to include everything. If you purchase the adventure, the premium or deluxe versions, then there will be some things in this version of the game that won't be in yours. The second thing, spoilers. I'm not going to give any spoilers of the game itself. I'm not going to talk through kind of the story or the things that happen, but what's important to know is I am going to show you everything in the box. So if you want to keep that as a surprise for yourself, if you want to kind of have that experience at home on your own, then please don't watch this video. Now, with that said, it is time for us to begin and to start going through the game. So first things first, as you can see, I'm looking to the side because this is my new setup, but we are good to go. Here is the final box, and I'm so happy with how it looks. The sword has come out so well, and it is really, really sharp. The box looks absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy. But I know that you don't really care about the box. You want to see what's in the box. So this box is completely filled, and as you can see, there is so much stuff in here. Quick disclaimer, I've already opened this and taken everything out, and I've tried to put it back in as close as possible to how it kind of turned up, but I wanted to make sure that everything was in here and there are no problems, because after all, this is a production sample. So as you can see here, we've got the rule book, we've got the quick reference book, you know, these are just kind of the book that's teaching you the game, the rules, nothing kind of too exciting here, but it's just like, it's so cool to see this in kind of print and the final copy. You can see the quick setup trays in here. So there's 2 quick setup trays, and all of these come with obviously the different compartments where all of the stuff can go into them. I'm going to take these off the screen because, you know, they're kind of plastic trays, and whilst they're really useful, you probably don't need to kind of keep them in front of you the whole time. So I'm just going to put those to the edge here, out the way. So next thing, the bags. So people have been asking me, just how big are these bags? And you can now probably see that, I mean, this is my hand. You know, these bags are absolutely huge, and I think they've come out amazingly. I'm so happy with how good that these bags are looking. So we've got the hard bag there, we've got the medium bag, we've got the easy bag, and you know, I'm like, this is one of those things that, as I kind of said when I was doing this, I really wanted those bags to be as big and as possible. Something that you can really kind of, you know, just pick up and you can get your hand in there, you can shake it around, and it just works. And for me, I'm so glad that these have come out as they have. So going back to the table, we've obviously got our bags here. So again, nothing too exciting. They're just 2 different size bags. We've got a selection of big bags and a selection of small bags, just to help kind of store some of the items in the game. We've got our spinner. There's just one of these that's going to come in the box, that's used for the clock. We've got a bag of plastic stands. So these are the bases for the standees, as you can see, and these are probably coming up quite noisily on the screen, but these are kind of the translucent bases that we came up with in the end. I'll try and show you one of these kind of set up in a while, but as you can see, they're quite small, they're fully transparent, and there should be enough of these in every box for everything in there. So once they're on your pieces, you won't need to take them off. There's 32. Everyone with the collector's edition is going to need 32. So it's exactly the right amount. Next up is the dice, and I'm so happy with how these dice have turned out. I mean, my goodness, look at this. There's obviously 5 of each, and I'm really, really happy. Like the embedding, I guess, I can't remember the right word, on these is looking so cool. As you can tell, I'm still really excited, because obviously I've worked on this for so long, and there's so much in this box that I want to show you, and I know you don't want this video to take ages and ages, but perhaps you do, you know. I'm really happy with how the dice have turned out, and I think they're looking really sharp, and they're so much nicer than the prototype ones. I mean, especially these are just so much cooler now. So I'm just going to put these over here out of the way for now. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff. So the next thing I guess we'll go through quickly is the art book. And obviously the art book is something that is just in here for the collector's edition of the game. And I'm so happy with how this has kind of come out. You know, the stories of this art book are going to be going through the creation of the characters. It's going to be telling you how we designed them, the decisions we made, some of the choices. Like these are some of the early sketches from Brutius before we kind of got to this final image. We're going to be talking through the kind of, you know, the creation process and the different designs and the colors. Like, you know, Brutius could have ended up yellow or red, but you know, there's just pages and pages in this book. And once you've got past the kind of the good guys, oh, I don't want to show you that. There's a few surprises in this book as well. So let me just find a page that isn't so much of a surprise. Obviously, we've got the bad guys back here. And what else have we got? Got to be careful. Here we go. We've got through the Ockle. We're going to go into some of the factions. Just going to be showing you kind of all the faction banners and how they've all come together. And, you know, the map tiles, the different process. The map tiles weren't always just going to be green and orange. We played around with lots of different styles of these, you know, to get to that final kind of solution. And let's see, I feel like I'm showing kind of too much. So I'm going to just skip through to one final page. Yeah, you see, like, there's lots of sketches as well in here, kind of the items and the progression as well. So there's a lot going on in this book, but I'm going to leave the rest of it for you guys now. And again, I'm going to take this one off to the side because it's not quite as important from the game perspective. So as you can see, there's still so much. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs of cards in here now. And I'm going to open all of these and go through them. We've got our wooden tokens, which again I'm going to open and I'll go through those shortly. I just want to take all of the stuff out of the box so that we can have a little bit more room. One note on the story cards. I mean, this is something that wasn't really in the prototype. We always just had these on like one small deck of cards. So this is all of the story cards and scenario cards in the game. And as you can see, these are kind of big, full-size kind of cards. Don't worry about the content on the edges here. These are setup cards, so they're not giving any spoilers or anything. We've got our anti-knock sheets. So for those people who, you know, wanted these are now in those boxes of the game. And as you can see, I mean, like there's 4 of them here and you can still see, like, if you look in this kind of area here, just how transparent these are and just how clear it is for you to be able to kind of see through those. So even with all the lights that are shining on here and 4 sheets, you can still see the content coming through. So I'm really happy with how these have turned out. And again, we'll come back to those shortly. Just working my way through the box, we've got the achievement sheet. So this is the double-sided. We've got the scenario side of the achievement sheet where you can mark off all the stuff and when you've completed it. We've got the stories and the chapters on the back, which again allow you to mark off what you've completed. Because in this game, you know, you're going to progress through the stories. And as you progress through those stories, you might not always get to the end, but completing just one chapter of a story is actually a really good achievement. So I'm really glad that this is in here and we managed to unlock this. It's one of the stretch goals that was so early in the campaign that I think that it kind of got missed. But for me, this is such a cool thing that we've got in here. And now we've got the character sheets. So the character sheets, so we said on the back of the character sheets are going to be the posters. So this is the back of Sashara's, the back of Talora's, and you've got all of the stories in here. And I'm so glad that these are kind of in the game and we've managed to get all of these kind of printed onto the back. So now when you're playing the game, you can kind of choose your character based on, you know, who they are and how they look, or you can come to the other side. And the other side has the character sheet layout. This hasn't changed layout-wise since the kind of Kickstarter, but there's been a few extra design tweaks on here. There's a few kind of bits and bobs that have been added just to kind of tidy it up and just make it that little bit sharper. You can see some of these kind of mineral minecarts, my goodness, coming across on here, and some of those extra changes. But I mean, I'm really, really happy again with how these have turned out. Box of punch boards. This is over here. Sorry, there's so many bits in here. So this is the Kickstarter pack of cards, so the equipment cards. This is the Dexterity Micro Expansion quest cards that have come in the game as well. And then we've got our punch boards. So again, the Kickstarter punch board. This is the extra factions that came with the, I think it was the premium edition upwards, and then all the punch boards for the game. So this is the challenging bit, to see if I can get these out on camera without looking too bad. So here we go. Let's just move that over there. And as you can see, there is a lot of punch boards in this game, and we spend a lot of time optimizing these down. So this is the punch boards for the game. But before we do that, the final thing, I guess, is the back of the box. So this is what we decided on for the back of the box. We've got kind of the nice picture at the top, we've got the description, we've got some of the contents, and then the kind of text written list of contents. So it's fairly simple, fairly straightforward, but hopefully it gives a nice visual of the game, showing the bad guys, showing the good guys, and so on. So that is the box, and I'm going to put that out of the way as well. There's so much in this game that just having space for all of this is so hard. So what I'm going to do, I think, is move some of these just over here for the time being. I guess we can take the spinner off for now, and we can probably move the dice out of the way for now, and we can try and bring some of these back in shortly. But I just want to show you some more of the game. Okay, rulebooks. No one really cares about rulebooks, I'm sure. I mean, maybe you do, and that's absolutely fine. But right now, we have got more exciting things to look at. So, punch boards. So there are 14 punch boards. You can see the map tiles in here, stat bars, the different tokens, the final ability tokens, the resource tokens. And as you can see, I mean, I'm just going to try and go through them quite quickly. The majority of these are the same template. We spend a lot of time trying to optimize this to use as much of the space as possible. As you'll see in the bottom left here, there's a little yellow marker which tells you the ID of that template. So if you do for any reason have any missing pieces, or you damage something and you need a replacement, then you can simply let us know which template it comes from, and we can identify it for you. So again, you know, the templates, the stat bars, you can really just see how much content is kind of in here. Just pages and pages of punch boards. And here's all the characters, and I'm really excited with this one. We've got the worker items, we've got the workers, we've got more resources, we've got the template headers, and then all of the different characters down here. And they have come out so well. I'm really happy with them. The prototypes I've always found are just like the finish on them just hasn't been as good, but the finish on these is exactly what I'd hoped for. And you can see here we've got our create your own. So for those people who wanted to create their own abilities, there's some templates in here which you can just use and drop into your bags. They're going to match up, the back of them are the same, and you'll be able to use those as you need. More tokens, more templates, and then we've got the old barn, the clock, and the corner piece, which are the final pieces. So as you can see, and let's see if I can get that out. Yes, there we go. 14 giant punch boards, and I'm going to see if I can put those back in the box to get them out of the way for the time being, just to kind of free up a bit more space. Once they come out, they are a bit harder to get back in, but there we go, all done and out of the way. Let me just put these somewhere so I can keep going through stuff. There we go. So what's next, you say? Let's have a look at the tokens. So one of the things we did was we changed the colours to try and make them a bit more colour bind friendly. So you'll see here that we've got the kind of the green colour, the purple, the black, the yellow, and we've got our red cubes over here, which are used for the health cubes. So these are really cool. I'm really happy with these. For me personally, I'm a big fan of purple, and I'm glad that we've managed to get some purple in this game. And I think they look really cool. Like, I'm really happy with the colour of this purple. It's probably coming out quite dark on the screen, but they're quite bright and vivid, which I'm really, really, really happy about. So let's just chuck these over here. There's a lot of chucking stuff to the side in this video. I don't know how that's coming across, but who knows. Honestly, I don't care. You know, like, these resources are so exciting. Like this, the item parts, the bag of wooden axes. These are so cool. I'm so happy with them. Like, I can see me using these for lots of little bits and bobs. I'm really happy with how they've come out. You know, the fish as well. I just think the colour of them is so cool, and they're looking so cool on here. So I'm not going to open all of them because this is going to take me ages to just sort out space. So let's just chuck these over here for now. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, like, there's just so much going on here, and there's so many bits and bobs. I guess I can move this one out the way. We can get the bags off the screen. We're not too worried about those. So let's have a look through our cards. What have we got here? So yeah, we've got our little Dexterity extra pack, as I say. So this one's not overly exciting. It comes in a nice little extra sleeve. So this is just the extra quest cards that will be coming in the game. So that's pretty cool. And again, we've got the Kickstarter pack here as well. So this is a nice pack of 4 cards. As you can see, I've not actually opened these. So this is kind of the unboxing and opening for me as well of this pack. So these are the 4 cards that come with the Kickstarter pack, which I'm really happy with. They've come out really nicely and I feel like they're looking really, really good. So I'm really glad we managed to get those in the game. But you know, like, it's funny, you know, like, I'm going to be opening packs of cards on camera now, and I'm really excited. I wish I hadn't cut my nails. Oh my god, the planning. So I'm just going to open these all up. Let's get all of these packs of cards out. And you know, one thing that I should say is there's a lot of content in this game, and there's a lot of kind of opening and getting things ready, but once it's all out, it just goes so smoothly. It's so quick and easy. This initial kind of packaging, opening and all of that, obviously it's a one-time thing. Punchboard opening is a one-time thing, and it will take a while to punch all of those boards for the first time, but it's definitely going to be worth it. I never thought that I was going to commentate on opening packs of cards before. As you can see, I'm actually really struggling to open some of these, and I'm just gibbering on. But I am excited, and I'm nearly done. But what I do want to say is, whilst I'm opening this final one, is that, as you can see, I've got this new video set up, and I'm hoping to do more videos, and I'm getting used to it. As you can see, I've got a little button next to me, which I use for switching between different cameras, and there actually are more than 2 cameras, but for this video I'm just keeping with the 2 for now, and eventually I'm going to get used to being able to press it and use it without having to look off the camera. So back to the table, we've got all of our cards now, and as you can see, so we've got the skill cards, which have come out really well. I'm really happy with these. These are really thick, proper quality cards, and I'm really happy with how these have come out. The position cards as well, you know, exactly the same material, and I'm really happy. They've come out much nicer than the original prototype versions. So what's next? Let's do the boring stuff. Let's get the quest cards out of the way. So, you know, here's some quest cards, and you can see just how many quest cards there are in here. And I think that, yeah, we've got more quest cards over here. So again, you can just see the pile of quest cards that are coming into this game. And if you've got the Dexterity extras as well, you know, there's a good solid amount of extra side quests that you'll be able to play through. Equipment cards. I'm so happy with how these came out. Like, honestly, one of the things that I was really concerned about was these, because in our printing runs we've been doing for the prototypes, there's been some real issues with them, but they've really come out nicely, and I'm really happy with the sharpness of how some of these are. I think, you know, these are one of those things that when you see them in person, they just look so strong. There's the Kickstarter Golden Compass that we did, and I'm just going to run through these because there are so many in here. But, you know, I'm really glad just to see that all of this has come out, and it's just come out to such a high standard. Much more like this card, for example, has always been a bit of a struggle for us, but now in the printed version, it's looking so colourful and so powerful, and I'm really happy with that. So we've got all of our equipment cards here as well, and then the story cards, and there's something that I kind of I'm going to be careful with how I do this because I don't want to spoil anything, but you can see here just how many cards there are, okay? I mean, like, this is the back of all the story cards, and there are so many in here, and this is the story that you're going to play through in the game. You've also got the scenarios, so one side of this deck is the scenarios, the other side is the stories, and they all come with their setup instructions. So to give you an idea, without kind of spoiling the overall story side of it, like, these are the scenarios, right? And when you play the game, all you need to do is you need to read the setup, set up the game, and you're good to go. But if you want to read the story, then the story's on the back, and you can see here, like, this is a full-length card of text. Like, there's a full story that's happening in this card, and every single one of these cards, you know, in here has got huge amounts of writing on it, and it really sets the scene. I'm not going to flick through them, but as I say, just from the scenarios, you can see from the back of these just how much story there is in this game if you want to read it. Now, again, you don't nearly gave that away then. You don't have to read the story to play. Like, you know, it's an extra thing, but it is there, and like we really encourage you to read through it because it's really going to set this world apart from a lot of the other games you may have played through. So I'm just going to start opening up a few more things now. I think like this is a lot of the game now, and as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm really happy with how everything's come out. Like, the resources are looking really, really good. The bags, I'm so happy with how the bags have come out. The quest cards are like, there's so many of them in this game, and the story cards, again, there's so much in there. The overall, you know, I'm going to jump back to the other camera for the minute and just kind of say, you know, overall, this is just everything that I wanted to come out of this game. There is so much in here, and like, honestly, I don't think anyone's ever going to get through all of it. I don't think anyone will play through every quest and kind of read every single creature ability and every story. There is just so much going on that actually having the ability and the time to play it that much, you know, everyone's going to have a different experience, and that was really what I was hoping for. Like, I really, really, really wanted to get this right, and you guys on the Kickstarter backers, you really, really helped with this. As you can see, I'm just kind of getting stuff out on the table, and I will be there soon. But like, ask away in the bottom if there's any questions, if there's any extra things you want to kind of see. Just let me know, because oh yes, the character sheets and the templates. So let me just get all of these bags off the way here, and as you can see, I've put a few more of the bits out on the table here. And they're looking cool. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. And let's see if we can get these. So we've got our banners here. And again, you know, let's just punch a few of these out. Let's kind of get a few bits out on the table. You know, see how easily that came out. Obviously, I didn't test that. I'm really glad that worked that well. And let's just have a look. You know, we can take our templates, and in we go, nice and quick, nice and simple, and away we go. That was something that I didn't try. I'm going to risk it again. I'm going to go for one more, and in we go. Here we go. Like, absolutely fine. You know, no damage. And once that's in there, that's in there. I know a few people were worried about it, but that is now good to go as well. Should we do another? Yeah, let's do another. We've got another one out here. Okay, I'm not doing any more. You know, like, we could do this all day long. There's 32 of these, but, you know, I just want to show you those things that are kind of coming through. And again, the back of these, they all have their stories now as well. It's something we did on the Kickstarter, showing you the story for the creature templates. So let's have another look over here. The rule books, I'm just going to take out the way. They can maybe just sit over here, I guess. They're not overly exciting, but the light's on them, so probably not. Maybe we can put them over here. There we go. Rulebooks over in the corner. So let's go for the player sheets. I think this is just about going to fit on here, so we can keep going with that. And now I'm just going to open up these. So these come with a bit of tape around them. So let's just take one of these out the way. And as you can see, let's put it the right way up so we don't have too much of a catastrophe there. You know, this is sitting over, and I mean, I'm looking at the camera to my side now, and I guess you can't even really see too much. I guess you can probably, if you put it on and then take it off, maybe you might be able to see a slight difference, but for me, I'm pretty happy with that. You know, the thing is completely on there. Let's see if we can straighten it up. And everything fits nicely. Everything is exactly how I wanted it with this. You know, you're going to be able to take your pieces, you're going to be able to stick them into the holes, you're going to have your cubes, and your cubes are going to fit into the holes, you know, and then you're going to be able to move this around. It's probably not great being on like 4-6 sheets there, but you know, once these are in here, you can properly move this around and it's not going to hurt. You know, this is what we wanted to do, just giving people the ability to move it around. I'm not going to get too greedy because, you know, this has been a little bit whatever, but as you can see, I'm pretty much moving that around as much as, you know, I would expect, and I'm happy with how that works. So yeah, I mean, our anti-knock sheets, our characters, they've all come out well as well. And the punch boards and everything else. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pause the camera and I'm going to punch out a bunch of the sheets, and then I'm going to come back. You don't need to sit and watch me punching all the boards. Maybe you do, but that's unfortunate because I'm going to pause it and then come back. Okay, so I'm back and I've managed to get everything punched out. I've put some stuff into bags so we can put it out onto the table, and let's have another look through at some more of the stuff that's in the game. So as you can see down here on the table, I've now kind of moved some of the stuff out into the corners. These are all things we went through previously, but the bags now have their tokens in them. I don't know how well you can see that, but we've got various tokens in here now, which is cool. So you're going to have so much room in here. Like, I know I keep going on about the bags, but it's so nice to actually have a shakeable bag and then something you can put your hand in and still shake it around and kind of get those out. For me, like this, the creature ability part of this game is so important that being able to make sure that you can properly shake those things and really get something new each time is so critical. So let's start with a few of the big pieces. We've got the clock, we've got the old barn piece, and we've got the corner piece. And for me, it's so nice to have a corner piece now that's made out of card. This is one of the pieces that's been printed on paper the whole time, and it's always been so flimsy, and it's so nice now to have, like, a proper kind of card piece that can just sit in the game. So that's the corner piece there. And then we've got our map tiles. My God, I can't even pick them up with one hand. So these are all of the green map tiles. You can see just how many there are here. But on top of that, we've also got the orange map tiles. And again, so between them, there's a lot of tiles. There's 60 different tiles in this game. And then we've got our worker tokens for the temporary structures. We've got our headers for different parts of around the table. We've got our worker tokens, which are slightly bigger than the prototype version as well. We've got our kind of disabled tokens, and we've got our NPC and minion tokens. So that's a few of the little bits. What else have we got? Oh yeah, let's just get a few more things on the board. So we've got the create your own tokens as well over here. So one of the important things is the creature stat bars, and as you can see, there are quite a few creature stat bars now in the game. You can see, kind of compared to my finger, roughly how much space this is taking up, and this is the set for 4 players. As you can see on the back here, there's the marker to indicate that this is the 4-player set. So as well as the 4-player set, you have the 2-player set. I'm going to regret stacking these all up in the middle of the table like this, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? And then we've also got the 3-player set. So between all of them, there's a huge amount of these in the game now. And let's see if I can just turn those over here. So there's a lot of these. And as you can see, they're much clearer now as well than the original version. I don't know how well they're going to come off on the camera. But they're probably going to be quite blurred by the time they get in view. But hopefully you can see that the kind of the colours and the font and stuff is much clearer now as well. I don't really know what I'm trying to achieve with this, putting them on here like this. I just want to have room for everything. So yeah, you can see all of the stat bars there now. I mean, that's my hand, so there's a lot of them in here. So the resource tokens, for those who didn't get the wooden resources, these are the various resource tokens that you'll be able to use in the game instead. I'm really happy with how they came out. We've got our curses, and we've got our wardstone tokens, we've got the attention tokens, and again, for those with the quick setup trays, all of these things, are going to go into those trays. So once you've kind of got them out, you're not going to need to kind of keep taking them out of bags. We've got the different types of modifier tokens, and then we've got our kind of fire and our ice tokens. Then we've got our creature templates, and again, for those who saw like the prototype, you can see just how many more of these we have now. There's a whole bunch, and they have their stories on the back, kind of telling you about them and who they are and why they exist. And I'm really, again, happy with how these have come out. Some of the ones we got from the Kickstarter backers, and they're all just looking really strong. I'm really pleased with these. So those are the templates. Find some room in there for them. Then we've got the boss templates as well. So the various characters we've unlocked during the Kickstarter, and I'm again, super happy with these. So some of you might remember we talked about making them kind of multi-purpose. So for example, Bogrot here, you can turn him over, and now he's just kind of a general troll. So if you want to just use him as a troll template or a Maka template or an Ockle template, you can do. But then on the other side of them is the bosses that you're going to be playing against. So I'm really, really pleased that we kind of got those in there as well. As you can see, I mean, there are so many of them. I'm really starting to run out of space now, but don't fear, when you play the game it's not this crazy. I'm deliberately just trying to show you all the stuff. So in here I've punched out all of the creatures and the templates and the banners. So let's see if we can grab some of these out quickly. We've got all of our banners in here. The Kickstarter extra banners we did, the backer banners we did, and there are so many of these in here now, it's absolutely ridiculous. You're never going to have to fight the same banner twice, let alone creature, I think. So as you can see now, there are so many of these, and people are going to be able to pick out their favourites, and they're going to be able to play against those as much as they want to, and then just change them up, spice it up a bit. And we've got all of our characters. I don't know what I'm trying to do now. So we've got our good guys, we've got our bad guys, and there's so many of them. Obviously, once all these stands are on them, they're going to be taking up a little bit less space because they're all going to be stood up. But here you go. Wow, you know, like, this is most of the game. I mean, what's not on the table? I guess the only thing here really is the achievement sheet, the other anti-knock sheets, the other character sheets. We've got everything stacked up in piles, but I'm pretty sure that everything's on here now. And you can just see how much stuff there is and how much time it's taken us to kind of go back and forward with the samples. You know, this isn't the first time I've seen the game. We got some samples a few weeks ago. There were quite a lot of problems. We've refined them, but now this is looking much, much better. So, you know, I am really, really happy with how this has turned out. Like, when we started this Kickstarter, I mean, when we started this game years ago, I never imagined that we could really get to this level. And as always, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your support. This game is everything that I want it to be. I'm so happy with the final quality, the materials, the thickness, the kind of the rendering, the level of printing and the brightness of the colours. Everything has come out exactly how I imagined, and you know, more so, and I'm really, really grateful. So hopefully that's giving you a really good insight to all of the stuff in this game, and you know, the reason that the box is so big. I mean, again, bringing the box back up, you can kind of get an idea, I guess, compared to the rest of the stuff, just how big this box is. I mean, compared to my hand, you know, the thickness of the box, you know, this is a big, big game. There's a lot in here, and as you saw when I first opened up this box, everything was completely filled. It was packed to the brim. So thank you. If you've got questions, as always, please feel free to ask them below. If there's anything that you're unsure about, if you think there's anything I missed, let me know, and I'm happy to go back through it. For anyone who sat through this entire video, thank you so much, and until next time, keep on adventuring.